The business owners who charge premium prices and have clients lined up don't need a huge following. They just need to be famous to the right people to make a lot of money. And there's a specific type of fame that does that. I call it buyer fame. And I used it to hit my first $1 million year while my views were actually going down. So today, I'm gonna show you the 3 types of fame, why only one of them makes you money, and the 3-step system to build it for your business. But first, we really need to talk about what famous actually means when you're trying to grow a business. So imagine 3 doctors in the same city. The first doctor is everywhere. He's on local TV, he sponsors all the Little League teams, his face is on park benches, right? Everybody in town knows who he is. But his waiting room, it's half empty because most of those people already have a doctor. They just recognize his face. That's what we call wide fame. You're known by tons of people, most of whom aren't in the market for what you're selling. Now, the second doctor is well known in the medical community. He speaks at conferences, he publishes papers, and other doctors really respect him. But peers don't pay his bills. Patients do, right? That's niche fame. Then there's the third doctor. Most people in town have never even heard of her, but every single person in that city who has a torn rotator cuff knows exactly who she is. Her name comes up in every Google search, every referral, every conversation about shoulder injuries. She's booked out for 6 months and charges triple what the other 2 charge. That is buyer fame. You're known, liked, and trusted by the specific people who have the problem you solve and the ability to pay you for it. And buyer fame is the straightest, fastest line to making real profits in your business. And I can tell you exactly when this clicked for me. For years, my YouTube channel covered all kinds of marketing topics, website tips, SEO, social media, general digital marketing strategies, then eventually a lot of those, how to use AI in your marketing type of videos. And they performed great on the surface. I was getting about 20 to 30,000 views per video. Some of them went to like 400,000 views. And I was getting a lot of new subscribers and people were actually commenting and all that stuff. By most standards, that would be a win. But about 2 years ago, I made a conscious decision that I really wanted to double down on YouTube as my topic, right? So I stopped making all those general marketing and website videos, and I started making content that was specifically about how knowledge-based business owners could use YouTube to get clients. Just because I genuinely came to realize that that's the only marketing method that I truly believe in anymore. So what happened when I made that pivot? Well, my views tanked pretty much immediately. Videos that used to pull in 20 to 30,000 people were now getting less than half of that. Some of my new videos barely crack 3,000 views right now. So I thought that my stock had plummeted. At least that's what it looked like on the surface. So if you pulled up my channel analytics, you'd think I was a channel in trouble. My views in 2024 were over 6 million. Then in 2025, they dropped to about 5. Now that looks like a channel in decline, right? But here's what was actually happening behind the scenes. Sales in my YouTube program started going up and up and up. They were actually outpacing my first program, which was teaching businesses how to build their own website, which was a program that had the benefit of all of those high view marketing videos driving traffic to it. So while my views were going down, I had the best year of my business ever. My first $1 million year, in fact. So what exactly happened here? Well, I traded wide fame for buyer fame. The people watching my YouTube specific videos were a much smaller group, but they were the right group. They're the exact people who had the problem that my program solves. And because I was speaking directly to them, video after video, they didn't just watch, they bought. So a 3,000 foot view video that speaks directly to your buyers is worth way more than a 30,000 foot view video that speaks to everyone. And once you understand that, your whole mindset changes. And if you want me to help you build this kind of system, I do have that program that includes all of it plus weekly coaching. So just click the link below if you want to know more about that program. All right, but now let me show you the 3-step system that I used to build that buyer fame for myself and how you can do the same thing in your business. All right, step 1 is you need a clear positioning statement. So what do you do specifically and who do you do it for? What's the result you get those people? Ask yourself, are you the marketing expert or the business coach, the consultant who helps everyone? If your positioning sounds like everyone else's, you become a commodity. Prospects are going to shop around on you, comparing you to 3 other people, and question your price all the time. But with a sharp positioning statement, they see you as the answer to their specific problem. They're not shopping anymore, they just want in. My positioning statement now is, I help expertise-based business owners get their next 100 clients through YouTube. By combining the method, which is YouTube, with the specific goals of a specific type of person, those expertise-based business owners who want clients, I carved out something way more unique. Because most channels that teach YouTube keep things wide open. Things like how to grow, how to get their first 1,000 subscribers, stuff like that. They're not drilling down into specific business use cases. And I didn't just choose to talk to businesses, I chose a very specific kind of business. Coaches, consultants, course creators, anyone who sells their expertise and their smarts. Now, once you've got your positioning locked in, you need step 2, which is a signature method, your own unique way of getting results for your clients. And this doesn't have to be some revolutionary invention that no one's ever thought of. It just needs to be your specific take on how to solve the problem. Think about it. What you do for your clients probably isn't 100% brand new, but the way you put it all together, the order you do things in, the emphasis that you place on certain steps, that's what makes your method unique. And when you name it and brand it, it becomes something that people can latch onto. It gives them something really concrete that they can point to and say, that's the approach that I want to follow, not just another generic promise of more leads or more revenue. This is what separates the experts who attract buyers from the experts who just attract followers. Followers come for generic tips. Buyers come because they believe in your specific approach to solving their problem. Look at the Money Guys, for instance. They have this framework for the order you should be doing things to build wealth, called the Financial Order of Operations, which they just call the FOO.
The FOO.
The FOO. The FOO.
Smart financial planning isn't new. Every financial advisor teaches some version of it, but packaging it as a clear branded sequence that people can follow step by step, that's ownable. And people talk about the FOO like it's a thing, because it is a thing now, it's theirs. Or what about home organization expert Marie Kondo? Decluttering isn't new. Before her, every decluttering expert was teaching the same basic concept of having a keep pile and a toss pile. But she keyed into something unique with one simple question: does this spark joy? And that single reframe became a global phenomenon because it was a branded, memorable way into a common problem. And this is why the branding is just as important as the method itself. So a great framework with no name, it's just advice. A named framework, though, that becomes a movement that people can get behind. So don't just teach your process. Name it, own it, and make it the thing that people associate with you. All right, step 3, you need to publish weekly on the right platform. Now, not all platforms are equal for building buyer fame, so let's just work through your options. First, you got social media, short form stuff like Instagram Reels, TikTok, that kind of thing. That's one option. Now, I know it's where a lot of people start because it feels easy and accessible. Post a reel, write a carousel, hop on whatever the latest trend is. Where it goes sideways a little bit is it's really hard to build genuine attachment in these 60-second bursts. You might grab someone's attention for a second, but attention isn't trust, and trust is what makes people buy. Can social media work as a supplement? Sure, it can, but you've got better options. Podcasting is a big step up from that. It's long form, which means people actually spend real time with you. They hear your voice, how you think, they start to actually feel like they know you. And that kind of trust building is powerful. By the time a podcast listener reaches out to you, they usually feel a real connection with you as the host. But here's the limitation, and it's a big one, it's discovery. Podcasts are actually terrible for getting found by new people. So podcasting is great when it comes to deepening relationships with people who already know you exist. But it's not so great for getting in front of new potential buyers who are actively searching for help right now. And then there's YouTube, and this is where it all comes together. People go to YouTube actively looking for advice, how to do stuff, solutions to real problems, and that means you can get in front of someone at the exact moment that they need what you offer most. Not just because some algorithm randomly surfaced your content to them, but because they typed in a question and your video answered it. It's long form like podcasting, so you get the same trust building power, that you get there. Plus, people see your face, they hear your voice, they absorb your expertise, and by the time they reach out, they definitely feel like they already know you. But unlike podcasting, YouTube also has a really powerful recommendation engine under the hood. And that means even when people aren't searching, YouTube's still actively putting your videos in front of people who are likely to be interested based on what they've been watching. So you get the best of both worlds here, search and discovery. And the right video keeps working for you way after you published it, right? A single well-made video can attract your most ideal buyers for years. It pretty much becomes that 24/7 salesperson that never takes a day off. One of my students, Dean, is a really great example of this actually. He's a realtor in Whistler, BC, and his videos get, maybe 100 to 200 videos a piece, and his channel has about 1,000 subscribers at this point. Every single video he makes is specifically for people looking to buy or sell property in Whistler. That's it. And here's what that gets him. He's pulling in 2 to 3 solid leads every single week. People call him and they say, "We've been watching all your videos and we only want to work with you." And he recently landed a $10 million client from a channel with 1,000 subscribers. That is YouTube reinforced buyer fame in action. Then we've got Jamie Wolfer. She's a wedding planner, and before YouTube, she was renting, these booths out at wedding expos, spending a lot of money just to stand there and hope that these brides would stop by and maybe some of them would hire her. And honestly, she usually lost money on going to these shows, by the way. But once she started publishing YouTube videos for those brides to be, everything flipped. The very first expo she went to at post YouTube, they were running up to her booth literally in tears, excited to meet the YouTuber who they'd been watching, and they would hire her on the spot. Eventually, she stopped even going to the expos altogether because she didn't need them anymore. So she saves a lot of money there, and now she actually runs a membership where she just advises couples in a virtual group setting. So she's not trading her hours for dollars anymore. She built a business that isn't capped by her own time. And it's all because she became buyer famous to the right audience on YouTube. Now, there's a type of video that you really need to be focusing on. It's definitely the most underrated content strategy ever if you want to create enough buyer fame to be in your own category of one and be able to charge a lot more. So I talk about the whole strategy in this video, so click right here and I'm going to show you how it works, including a really smart way to kickstart the whole fame cycle for you and your business. So click right here and I'll show you exactly what I mean.